Hello everyone, this is Stacey VanBoening coming to you with a little product knowledge. I am going to talk today about Mechanical Shield and SeneShield and how they are completely different and what they truly mean. So let's start out with Mechanical Shield. This is something that if your customers are probably asking about it, if they are not asking about it, you need to start telling them about it as we are heading into summer because this is amazing technology. So let's start way from the beginning. We talk about our mechanical shield being an equivalent to SPF 15. So what does that mean? Let's talk about what SPF is. I know I didn't understand what SPF truly meant, and the more I talk to people, nobody has a clue. I wasn't the only one. I kind of thought that I was the only one. Nobody really understands it. So SPF is your sun protection factor. And so it is a completely relative term. So what SPF 10 means for me is completely different than what SPF 10 means for you. So let's put this into some easy to understand terms. So you have somebody over here who, if they go out in the sun with absolutely no protection on at all, they are going to burn within 10 minutes. So if they put on SPF 10, then they are going to be able to go 10 times 10, and they can be out in the sun for 100 minutes and receive the same burn in 100 minutes that they did in 10 minutes without that protection. Now, the thing about SPF is it comes in a chemical compound, which is usually titanium dioxide, and most sunscreens, except for SeneSun, is heavily chemically processed. We, in our SeneSun, which is a whole nother topic, and I'll do that another day, but ours is a very clean, natural state titanium dioxide in our sunscreen. Most sunscreens are very chemical altered and very irritating to a lot of people's skin. Also, what happens to that chemical barrier is as the UV rays are hitting, it is breaking it down and it goes away. So mechanical shield. What is different about the mechanical shield is there is a very, very small amount of that chemical component mixed into an algae that provides the mechanical component of the mechanical shield. So essentially what you're doing is you are putting up a wall on your skin, protecting your skin from the UV rays. So sorry, of course that's when my phone would go crazy. So let's say you're a person that without anything on to protect your skin, you go out in the sun and you sunburn in 10 minutes. If you go out in the sun and you just have your daytime moisturizer on your face, then you have the equivalent of SPF 15. So 10 times 15 in 150 minutes, your face is going to be the same amount of burnt as it was in 10 minutes without any protection. And so it's relative to each person. If you're somebody who burns in 20 minutes out in the sun, then you have 300 minutes before you receive that same level of sunburn. So as it's still completely relative and it's an equivalent thing. And ours doesn't get broken down by the sun. It's always there. But it's kind of like the wall. It only keeps it out for so long, and then you got to go back in and just get out of the sun for a while and kind of let your skin cool down, let the effects of the sun kind of wear off, let your skin go back to its normal state, and then you go back out and you're back at your normal, what you went out with. If it was SPF or your mechanical shield of 15, then you have another however many minutes you get by an equivalent of SPF 15. The other beautiful thing about our mechanical shield, since we're basically putting up a wall between our skin and the UV rays, is we can add them together. So, for example, if you go out and you put on your daytime moisturizer, that is an SPF of 15. And then you put on your Make Sense foundation, you add those two together, you now have a mechanical shield with an SPF equivalent of 30. Amazing. And if you're using your Make Sense foundation to get that addition, you now have waterproof completely waterproof mechanical shield. It's amazing. Probably the reason I love product knowledge so much and I love our products so much is I'm a bit of a skeptic. And I have to know why things work and how things work. So I have dove into that product knowledge guide, and but I also have to test the products. Like I don't typically sell anything that I have not tried and fallen in love with, which I have fallen in love with all of our products. So it makes it really easy. But last summer I was a pretty new distributor and I decided to put it to the test. And so we had taken our family vacation up to the Wisconsin Dells. And so I put full face makeup on to go to the water park, which is totally not me, but I put on full face makeup, red lipstick included, and we went to the water park. We were there for 8 hours, and I didn't just lay there and read a book. I am the mom that is going down water slides face first. We played hard for 8 hours. When I left, my makeup still looked the same. Amazing! I mean, just crazy amazing that I could be in the water playing all day long and my makeup still looked completely on point. The other thing is, I only put a little bit of sunscreen on in the morning. I did a really good job of reapplying to my kids. I did not reapply to myself because I really don't burn that much, but 8 hours at the water park, my body was pretty darn red. My face was not burnt at all. At all. It works. It absolutely works. You need to get this out there, especially now we are getting colors of foundations in. This is a very, very good time. So that is mechanical shield. SeneShield, completely different thing, equally as good for your skin. SeneShield is what is protecting us from our environment. Our environment is on the daily becoming more and more toxic. There's a lot of free radicals in the air that love to attach to our skin. And what those free radicals do is they chew on whatever products we have on our skin. They get to our skin and they start chewing on our skin. And that is where we get our skin damage. And that is where it dehydrates our cells and damages our skin cells and makes our skin look dull and unhealthy and caked on and just makes our skin look gross. So what SeneShield does is it basically puts a wall up for those free radicals. The two products that have the SeneShield in is SeneSerum C and the anti-aging foundation. So there is a picture, and I will post it in the comment section of the video when I post it, but it's also, there's more information about it in the resources section, PowerPoints. Joni does a science behind the product PowerPoint that is absolutely phenomenal, but it has this picture of skin, and they look down at the microscopic level after they've been out all day long, and there's a picture of plain skin with nothing on it and skin with the SeneShield on it, and they both are just there. You can just see in every single little line and pore there are these black free radicals everywhere on the skin. Then they took water and just rinsed the faces, both faces. And the face that didn't have anything on it, you can still see all those free radicals are still sitting there. They didn't wash off. They are still sitting there chewing on that skin. The SeneShield face is clean. This is huge anti-aging. Huge, huge, huge for anti-aging. So another thing to definitely let your customers know about. If you have any questions, please let me know. But I have gotten all this information from the product knowledge guide. Get comfortable with it. It is under resources. You can download it onto your phone as the PDF or in the iBooks if you have an iPhone, and a PDF, I believe, on Androids. And so that way you always have it. So if your customers ask you any questions about products and you don't have the answer right off the bat, you pull that up and you look it up for them. Have a wonderful day, ladies.